Carolyn said I had to go to Saskatchewan to do the research alone next June. I didn't want to. I was afraid to be with my mom and her kin all by myself. I didn't really know her or them. My brothers and I were raised in Toronto by my paternal grandparents after Dad robbed some stores and disappeared in 1979. I remember being angry at my parents for abandoning us. It burned within me, and by 24, drove me onto the streets a homeless addict, in and out of jail. Sobriety and rehab led me to university, and historical research was my savior. It gave me the strength to stay sober, and that's where I met Professor Dr. Carolyn Podruchny. She took me on as a research assistant after I knocked on her office door, searching for answers about my Métis family, about who my ancestral grandfather Mistawasis was, and who I was. On the first research trip to Saskatchewan, Carolyn and I tried to go to Mistawasis Reservation, but the road was washed out by heavy June rains. I felt disappointed, but we still found a lot of information that showed me that my ancestors fought at Batoche, and from then on passed on their pain to their descendants. I thought, maybe that's why my parents let us boys go. When I arrived for the second research trip alone, my mom met me at the airport with a big smile. I was scared to be with her, and I fumbled my words when we first met. But that June, as me and her drove all over Saskatchewan researching and talking to Métis Cree elders, we got to know one another. One day out of the blue, Mom said, "Let's go to Mistawasis. Who knows what we'll find?" When we got there, we asked some old ladies if they could help us find Chief Mistawasis. They told us to wait near the band office, and at 1 o'clock, Elder Ed Ledoux would come. We waited, and as predicted, he appeared. Ed said that he knew who we were and that he knew we were coming. His father used to buy goats off our great aunt Alexina, and he visited the Morissette Road allowance in Dumboldt as a young boy, and that we were all great-grandchildren of Chief Mistawasis. Ed then took us up to the old Presbyterian church on the hilltop. "Mistawasis is here," he said. "He used to be Catholic, but he loved to sing, so he made the switch to this church." We all laughed at the thought. Before we reached the grave, Ed paused, stomped his heel twice, said something in Cree, and put tobacco down. Just then a deer emerged from the bushes. It stopped, looked straight at us, and then leapt off. "That was him," Ed said. "He's letting you know you found him." Just then I looked into my mother's eyes, and I realized that in my quest to find Mistawasis, I had found something much more. I'd found my mother, and that I was home.